This is one of the few times I'm going to come out and say this. You've been warned. Alright, to the 34% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button, make sure you guys smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So I want to talk about some of the anticipation and situation around some of the current things that are happening in the market here. And one of those is actually going to be hard focused on, you guessed it, the Amazing Defenders. Now, so many people are looking at this set and they're like, oh my god, this set is so bad, Robbie. You know, like, it amazes me. Everybody's like, it's so trash. You do know that Purely is picking up in the OCG, right? Like, it's not like at a crazy tier 1 status, but I mean, like, it took Runic a little bit to get off the ground, and you saw how much, you know, tips inverted in price. So this is me coming out here and telling you all this. You all need to understand that those Purely cards will rise in price, all right? They're not going to reprint those. If the set maintains such a low, cheap price point, Konami's not going to cash in on reprint equity on that set for a very long time, because they want the shelf life of that product to actually last for a little while. They don't want, you know, stores to be taking these relatively large hits on this set. So I think that this is a very, very important time here to really point out and say that, hey, you know, if you are planning on picking up if you're planning on picking up anything in this set, I would do so now. Now we're going to come back. We're going to revisit this topic in a couple of months. I'm going to have a couple people point the finger at me because prices could go down cheaper than where they are now. I, as an educated consumer, I am comfortable with picking up the cards at these prices. I mean, if I can see a Purely core for like 65, 70 bucks, I don't think that's a terrible pickup, considering how many ultras that they had. Now, if I'm planning on picking up, you know, Rescue Ace, I'm looking at like 20 bucks. All right. Now, the Minkanko theme, I'm personally, so because Orihime doesn't necessarily seem like she's not short print, shifty eyes. Remember that only said that core sets will not have misprints. That does not include side sets, all right? That's very important that you get the difference on the structurings of these sets down. This is a side set here, so do keep that in mind, all right? That being said, you're probably looking at 15 bucks per Orihime. Plus the rest of it, you're probably looking at $60 for a set of this. Now, I mean, that's a little bit more expensive than I would really want to pay, but I don't foresee a price going down on that. Personally, I think that deck is the one that I want to play a little bit more than a lot of the other themes. Don't get me wrong, I mean, the Rescue Ace archetype is good. Getting the ability to set 4 spells and traps from your deck is really, really good. But the purpose of this video is to go, hey, when card prices are this low, when stores are taking these big of hits on product, and they just want to dump the bad equity, you are not going to get a better time than to pick up those free chicken nuggies now. We saw this with Runic in the past. Same thing with Labyrinth from that set. That much later on in the set's life, people were like, oh, you know, like, this is kind of good, you know, there's a lot going on here, you know, like, and then you kind of smash out of week 1 into week 2, you start to see, oh crap, oh, people are starting to pick up these competitive cards, and they're starting to kind of turn heads a little bit, and that's what we're starting to see here as more and more players start to kind of unfold here. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you here, but you're on a timer with this set. I do think that it will rebound at some point. I don't know when, but it just takes 1 to 2 people success. I would say you probably have 2 to 3 months on this, but you've been warned. All right, now, the next deck build pack, Wild Survivors. There are some interesting little theories going on around here that one of the themes has a connection to Hungry Boyga. You're going to get you basically have a ritual theme that is in the same lore as Hungry Boyga. I'm not really sure on this thought, to be honest with you. But if you kind of process this and you're like, could we be getting a Hungry Burger retrain? Do I need to go pick up Hungry Burgers at this point? Now, this is very far-fetched. I think that any time that you have wild theories like this, or like Hungry Burger is going to go up in price, no, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to see something crazy stupid like that actually happen, but I wanted to just... that it's amazing to me that more and more people are having this theory about this, that Hungry Burger is going to be relevant. So I guess I'm just going to leave my 1% thought here for this. If you really think, if you, this is, I need some tinfoil hat for this. I actually can't right now. If you actually think that Hungry Burger is going to be relevant, please stop right now. Now, the other wild theory here is within this set, more and more people keep bringing up the fact that there's going to be some outrageous generic dinosaur support. Now, if you've kind of paid attention to the state that dinosaur is in as of late, it hasn't been good. Like, the doodle dinosaurs were the real last thing that dinosaurs actually got. All right, now, was it technically good support? I mean, it's a splash engine that you could throw into dinosaurs and have the deck get off the ground. And by get off the ground, I mean, you could do okay at locals. But the problem is the former iteration of the deck, the deck at this point feels like you're playing very fair Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, the field spell handing your opponent a token, the ability to, interrupt and do some other things. Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus was this deck's heart and soul, all right? Especially when you could discard Misc, protect your investment of a field, and, actually have, like, Ultimate Conductor be a very threatening monster at the end of the day, was what made Dinosaur so scary. All right, now, as we go into this theme for Wild Survivors here, these deck build packs, usually, you don't get a lot of generic support, it feels like. And when I say that, I mean, Konami has a very terrible knack of wanting to lock certain things behind their own named archetype. Now, if Konami has truly looked at the current state of dinosaurs and said, all right, we need to do something about this, there has to be something that we can do. The answer is usually the Shaddoll fusion method. Give them a fusion, give them the ability to dump something. If they were actually open up the door to something like, I mean, the other thing is, like, fossil fusion exists. Technically, that's dinosaur support, even though it's not really dinosaur support. At the end of the day, if they gave dinosaurs, like, generic fusion to drop, like, an Overtex from the deck to go search for, like, a double evolution pill, like, think about that for a second. How crazy does that turn the plays around? Because that just gives you an entirely different line of things to kind of play the game. So, one big giant wish list I think a lot of people are kind of having here is there needs to be some sort of rejuvenation. The fact that this deck is supposed to be or this pack is supposed to be the wild survivors out here, you need to do something to kind of bring new life into dinosaurs. And once again, I don't know what you do. At the current point that we are seeing dinosaurs in the current metagame, it's very, very sad to kind of see how the deck is kind of standing. So, I don't know. I want to see dinosaurs come back to life. I really do. Like most of you, I really enjoyed, like, Ultimate Conductor. I enjoyed a lot of the little interactions that the deck actually had. But between, like, if you were truly looking at all of this stuff, and, you're looking at Amazing Defenders, you're going, I don't know about this. If you're looking at, like, Hungry Burger, and you're going SMH, like, I don't know if I want to do this. If you're looking at, like, generic dinosaur stuff, and you're kind of turning your head, generic dinosaur stuff is very cheap. You're not losing much picking up some Overtexes, some double evolution pills, just to kind of stay ahead of the curve. Like, that's a very big thing at the end of the day here, is just trying to stay ahead of the market. So I wanted to make a generic video and just say, hey, there's a lot more opportunities on the market than there actually looks like there are. I just think that some of them are very far-fetched, but the Purely one is starting to show results. It's going to take at least, a couple of months before you see any real impact of that on our side of the game. But because of that, I mean, opportunities are always good. So the sooner, the better, usually. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and, well, I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.